Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Evening Podcast for April 25, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, we've been following the escalating tensions in the Middle East, where a report by Amnesty International highlights significant human rights violations and international law breaches by powerful individuals and governments. The situation in Iran is particularly dire, with thousands of deaths documented and widespread repression by the government. In other news, Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing intense scrutiny over his decision to appoint Lord Peter Mandelson as the UK's ambassador to the United States, despite concerns raised by security officials about Mandelson's friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The controversy has led to Mandelson's dismissal and a review into potential security breaches during his time as ambassador. Lastly, we've been monitoring the situation in global politics, where leaders such as Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, and Benjamin Netanyahu have dominated headlines with their pursuit of economic and political domination through destruction, suppression, and violence. Amnesty International's report emphasizes the need for diplomacy, cooperation, and the protection of human dignity, and calls for those in power to be held accountable for their actions. We'll continue to provide fair and balanced updates as these situations unfold. And don't forget to share your thoughts with us on social media using the hashtag AIDailyPress. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then she'll know what's right now. Firstly, we've been following the developments in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, where allegations of sexual violence and harassment by Israeli soldiers and settlers against Palestinian women and girls have surfaced. A recent report by the Ramallah-based Women's Center for Legal Aid and Counseling highlights the severe impacts on Palestinian communities, particularly women and girls. In other news, the EU is considering new actions against Israel due to the ongoing conflict. The European Union is navigating a complex issue, balancing its commitment to human rights with its economic and diplomatic relationships. We'll continue to provide updates and analysis on the potential implications of the EU's actions on Israel and the broader region. Lastly, we've been tracking the developments in trade and tariffs following the Supreme Court's ruling that President Donald Trump's tariff policy is unlawful. The Trump administration has begun accepting requests for tariff refunds, with over $160 billion in refunds due to be returned to U.S. importers. However, analysts warn that average consumers are unlikely to benefit directly from these refunds. These stories highlight the complexities and challenges of our global community. We'll continue to monitor and provide updates on these stories as more information becomes available. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Risquizer.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we looked at the Indian stock market, where a surge in shares has been driven by a combination of factors, including a short squeeze and speculation. We examined the numbers behind this rally and what it might mean for investors. Next, we delved into the fascinating story of Avis Budget Group's stock, which has experienced a remarkable 50% rise over the past month. We explored the concept of a short squeeze and how it can drive prices higher, as well as the importance of considering underlying market dynamics and avoiding speculation. Lastly, we turned our attention to Washington, D.C., where President Trump's nominee to chair the Federal Reserve, Kevin Warsh, is set to testify before the Senate Banking Committee. We discussed the bipartisan opposition to Warsh's nomination, centered on concerns about his potential ties to the White House and the implications for monetary policy. As we wrap up this evening's podcast, I'd like to leave you with a thought. In these complex and ever-changing markets, it's essential to stay informed, stay vigilant, and always keep your wits about you. Remember, as Warren Buffett once said, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Let's keep our eyes on the value, not just the price. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's Curiosity rover has made a groundbreaking discovery on Mars, finding evidence of organic molecules that could have provided the building blocks for life on the red planet around 3 billion years ago. This significant finding suggests that Mars may have had a habitable environment in the past, bringing us one step closer to understanding the mysteries of the universe and the possibility of life beyond Earth. In other news, the Lyrid meteor shower has reached its peak, offering a spectacular celestial display that's been mesmerizing stargazers for centuries. This ancient meteor shower, which dates back over 600 years, is a reminder of the awe-inspiring beauty of the universe and our place within it. Additionally, the tech world is abuzz with the news that Apple CEO Tim Cook is stepping down, marking a significant shift in the leadership of one of the world's most influential technology companies. We will continue to monitor this situation and provide updates as more information becomes available. Finally, Nintendo fans can rejoice as the highly anticipated game, Splatoon 3, has been officially announced for the Nintendo Switch, promising more of the ink-splattering action that fans have come to love. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, in the NFL, we analyzed the impending changes to the draft process and the potential implications for teams and players alike. This shift could redefine how franchises approach talent acquisition and team building. Secondly, we delved into the world of professional golf, where the PGA Tour has announced a substantial change to its schedule, opting not to hold its season-opening events in Hawaii, starting in 2026. This decision marks a departure from tradition and may be part of a broader strategy under new CEO Brian Rolapp to reposition the tour in the sports landscape. Lastly, we recapped an action-packed weekend of NBA playoff games, where several teams and players made significant statements. The Cleveland Cavaliers' Big Three dominated against the Toronto Raptors, while Brandon Ingram's struggles continued for the New Orleans Pelicans. Meanwhile, Rudy Gobert's defensive prowess was on full display as the Minnesota Timberwolves tied their series with the Denver Nuggets. As we look ahead to the upcoming week, exciting matchups are on the horizon. Can the Raptors bounce back against the Cavs? Will the Pelicans find their footing without Zion Williamson? And can anyone stop the Nuggets' high-powered offense? These questions and more will be answered as the NBA playoffs continue to unfold. The drama of athletic competition is always unfolding, and we're here to provide you with in-depth analysis and expert insights. Stay informed, and we'll keep you up to date on all the latest developments in the world of sports. This is Howard Closewell, signing off. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. In our recent episodes, we've explored several fascinating stories that highlight the intersection of technology, human connection, and community. We began by examining Meta's new premium tier for WhatsApp called WhatsApp Plus, which offers additional features such as customization options and exclusive content for a monthly fee. We spoke with users who shared their mixed reactions to the idea of paying for these extra features. In another episode, we delved into a thought-provoking story about receiving messages from beyond the grave, raising important questions about technology and mortality. We also highlighted the creative approaches of individuals in our community, such as Robert Hosking's efforts to reduce waste by utilizing local resources and scouring the streets for reusable items. Additionally, we explored the world of alternative grandparent names, showcasing the love and creativity that binds families together. Our conversation was filled with heartwarming stories and delightful terms of endearment, reminding us of the importance of appreciating the little things in life that bring us joy and connection. Finally, we acknowledge the hard work and dedication of our contributors, valuing the unique perspectives they bring to our conversations. As we conclude this summary, we're reminded that life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and each story has the power to inspire, educate, and connect us in meaningful ways. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Let's take a quick look at what we've been discussing this week. We started off by paying tribute to Alan Osmond, a music legend who left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. His contributions to the world of music and his family's legacy will never be forgotten. Next, we dove into the latest biopic on Michael Jackson's life, directed by Antoine Fuqua. While the film has received mixed reviews, fans of the King of Pop may still find it an enjoyable tribute to his music and legacy. And finally, we shone the spotlight on Jack White, who's making waves in the UK with his latest release, God and the Broken Ribs. This double single has debuted at number 6 on the official physical singles chart, marking a career high for the Grammy-winning artist. Thanks for joining me on this edition of the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we explored the personal journey of David Gerber, who found transformation and growth by immersing himself in nature and confronting his fears. His story raises important questions about the impact of advancing artificial intelligence on our daily lives and the importance of striking a balance between technology and real-world engagement. Secondly, we delved into the world of conservation in Alaska's Tongass National Forest, where a small cruise company, the Boat Company, is working alongside environmental organization Earth Justice to protect the region's pristine wilderness and old-growth trees. The fate of the Tongass has far-reaching implications for both the environment and local communities, with the tourism industry supporting over 5,000 jobs in 2020. Lastly, we touched on a recent report that highlights the declining trend among younger generations to engage in activities that were once considered rites of passage, such as obtaining a driver's license. Psychologists suggest that this phenomenon may be rooted in an increased anxiety about independence and the future. These stories invite us to reflect on our own engagement with the world and the importance of living a life rich in experience, connection, and personal challenge. As we navigate the dawn of the AI age, remembering the value of human resilience, courage, and real-world engagement will be paramount. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.